excess water out of the bottom of your pieces too. They will have a tendency to crack also from the excess water in there. Okay, so this is going to be my third pull of this. Same thing holds true. You know, try to raise it 3 times. Get your general shape. This is going to be a little different because of the final shape that I'm going to make. Because I'm going to actually make just an enclosed form full of air. And I'm going to start from this point here, about 3/4 of the way up, get a little wet, and I'm going to start collaring or necking in, depending on what part of the country it is or what you call this. You can see what I'm doing, just compressing my fingers together, bringing this in, and as you do that, 9 times out of 10 it's going to get uneven because you're compressing the clay. It gets to the point where it's so compressed it can't go anywhere, so I'm just going to go in there and raise right where I've been narrowing it out. And then I'll cut off the uneven part. And go back and continue to do this until completely close this up. Careful as you do this. I'm trying to be. Now it's all sealed up. What I tried to do is compress it in such a way that I left the knob there, so I actually threw the knob as I compressed it. Bring it in and just seal it off and go completely around. Get a nice kind of rounded smooth. That's an aesthetic decision that you make.
And it won't matter if there's air in the knob?
No, because the whole thing is full of air.
And you're not really pushing on it there because otherwise it would be collapsing because you don't have equal pressure on the inside.
Well, that's a great thing about it because it's full of air. Wherever I push it, it makes equal pressure. So once you get the thing closed up, you can do all kinds of playing around with it. And that's kind of where the fun part comes in.
Okay.
So one of my favorite tools now is
a credit card.
Old credit cards. Okay. These are great. You know what you usually do? You throw them away.
Yeah.
So this is nice because you can take and you can bend it to any shape you want. You know, gives these real nice sides and edges and things. I've taken these and cut them, made shapes like these other rubber ribs and stuff. They're kind of fun to do. So I just kind of roughly shaped that more to get rid of that slip. Because this is just keeping the piece wet. By removing the slip, you're drying it up and you're just giving yourself more working time because the clay is dry. You can see how much of the slip I'm actually taking off, plus it's getting smoother and smoother. And it looks like a bell now, doesn't it?
Yeah, or one of those old German helmets, you know, World War I.
Open the hole back up. So that's how you can just throw a little knob on the piece if you want to do that. Actually, that's the piece I need right there. Thing about a knob, you want it so your fingers get under it. You could have left that long thing, but then your hand's constantly sliding off of it. So
Yeah, and you go to pull it off, and it like slips off the knob and
Yeah.
make a big mess. At least if you're me, because that's the kind of thing that happens.
So now what you do is you take a little tool. And push in. And this little thing that I made here, you see, is actually going to be the flange that fits down inside the piece. And I put it off.
keep talking in our conversation when you're not. Okay. Did you record? So this guy maybe claims he's pure blood. I don't like to be astounded with pure blood.
So,
You can tell by the way he's a user. You can't try to get a bottle. And when we got to the donuts on my house, he goes, it's $60 more. I'm like, I'm not interested. I'm not paying $60 more. I'll tell you my full red light, and I'm not interested. My full red light.
Let's see that.
Making this, and ever since then, it's been my mortal enemy. Mortal. Step user.
okay. So, got this. Make a little line. A little line is going to be where I cut this thing off when it's leather hard. I'll go ahead and cut the tooth off the wheel. And the very last thing I'll do is come back
There are some.
with the needle and poke a hole in.
No.
The air can get out. If you don't, I've actually made these and I've seen people make them, and they sometimes they'll put them out in the sun to dry. They'll come out and they're actually cracked and kind of explode because they track so much over whatever's inside of them. So a little hole like that is fine. It'll be enough as the thing shrinks. It'll let the air out. You'll see, and I'll just do it so you can kind of illustrate for you what I'm going to do when I cut it off. I'm going to cut right here. Again, this one is leather hard. That will let that little flange just drop down inside, and that's my lid. So it's always a perfect fit.
That is so cool.
Okay. Another thing you can do is, so say you like the idea of this, just throwing these balls of air, which is kind of fun. You can just throw it, just seal the whole thing up, poke a hole into it someplace, and come back later, and you can just freeform cut them. Some people do it with the wire, so they kind of even make kind of a loop shape, something like that. The way the lid only fits one way, just the way it was cut. So they're very one of a kind like that too. So anyway, it's a way of doing it.
That's cool.
So with the tools and the calipers, and then without.